All right, well, I'm going to like pretend like we're coming back from like kind of an amusing anecdote, so you guys just laugh. I'm going to be like finishing a story. And so I say, not with mine you don't.
That was awful.
I just want to know what happened to the
joke.
dog.
Oh, hey, guys, we're on camera.
Oh,
hey,
what?
you just walked in on us having a little candid friendship moment. I'm here with my friends, Matt McCormick and Horatio Zglimbea.
Hello.
I'm Dan Gordon. This is the Set of the Take. This month we're reviewing Weird Al's 1989 cult classic, UHF.
They got it all.
On UHF.
And you know, maybe it'll get a little raunchy. Maybe we'll get into some guy talk. Who knows where the show will go.
Then we'll spit and scratch ourselves.
Theme song! Welcome back to The Take. Typically, this is where we play the clip, but I want to ask you guys, mix it up a little. What was your introduction to Weird Al?
Oh, man. I can't even remember.
No, seriously.
It's been that long. I can't even
Are you guys
remember.
fans? Is he, how?
Yes, I am a fan of Weird Al. All of his parodies are funny. I enjoy his videos. Great time.
I think the first Weird Al song I heard was The Saga Begins, and that was like before I had internet or anything. That was like the first like Star Wars parody. I'm not sure if I saw that or Spaceballs first, but that goes to show how long ago that was.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think I saw him live before that even happened.
Oh, I've never seen him live.
It's
What
weird.
that? He put on a good show.
It's all right.
All right.
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird.
All right. Well, let's knock off the BS. That's censored for bullshit, and let's play a clip.
You can't swear, Dan.
Yes, we can.
We're back. I'm going to give Horatio Zglimbea 15 seconds to give his initial impressions on the movie because he's been tweeting up a storm. He's been all over social media talking about it.
Just twice.
Let's see what you have to say.
Well, I went in with high hopes because it is Weird Al, and I've said at the beginning of the show that I really like Weird Al. But I thought this movie was kind of dumb. I was not impressed. I cracked like 3 jokes, or 3 laughs, or 3 smiles.
Oh, you're done. You're done.
Oh,
wow.
Matt McCormick, go.
Awesome. I caught this movie back a long time ago on demand, and it's one of my favorite movies. I love this film.
No.
Yeah.
Under the timer, as always.
As always.
Your poor girlfriend.
Hey,
Oh.
I'd have to have one for that to be a problem.
Personally, I did enjoy this movie. It has a lot of problems, but it held up for me. For being a comedy from 1989, I mean, I don't think this movie is going to stand the test of time. It's already really dated, and like, you know, parodying bad TV used to be kind of like a niche thing, like not really well known. Like, do you guys even know what UHF stands for?
I do not. I heard it earlier today. Our fantastic camera person, Brian, I said camera person, he's a man, cameraman Brian, said it's ultra high frequency.
I was thinking that, and I was going to say it.
Yeah, he told me, he filled me in, he schooled me. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, but you know, now it's like ad agencies are so hip to the scene that like it's almost become the norm. You watch this Super Bowl TV ads, and it's like a pale imitation of Weird Al's style of comedy. And I think it's been parodied better in recent years and more intelligently with like Tim and Eric. But that's not to say there weren't some good laughs in this. I think like just like it's definitely quantity over quality with this film, with the gags.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, a lot of quantity and very little quality.
What are you talking about? There's some great stuff in there. Like the town talk bit, that's great. Gandhi 2, that's even better.
You know what?
Conan the Librarian. You can just go down the list, and they're all great gags.
I enjoyed Conan the Librarian and the first town talk where he cuts off his thumb, but even that was overacted. So.
Does this style of parody just not work for you? Do you like movies like Airplane?
Oh, I loved Airplane. That's what I was gonna say later when we talked about it. I feel like this one pales in comparison to the parody movies of that age or right before that, because I know Airplane is a little bit older. But those were so good, and I expected so much because Weird Al, like we were talking about at the beginning of the show, I love him. He's funny. I think his song parodies are great. But this one just fell flat for me.
What was it that fell flat? Was it the story aspect or the gags?
I honestly don't know. I think a lot of it was not the greatest. I wasn't a fan of most of the gags. I thought they were just thrown in there randomly, and I was not impressed with their location. The story, I enjoyed the story because it was reminiscent of, like we work at a television station, a small television station, and it's cool because it was like, oh, that's kind of relatable in a way. But
Matt, get in there and defend your baby.
I mean,
you have a baby?
Wow.
Wow.
Sorry to break it down to you like that.
Well, thank you.
On air.
On air.
On air.
God.
It's been a hard year keeping it hidden from you.
Well.
I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like, comedy is really subjective. And the things that they're parodying, though, like, they aren't necessarily timely. Like, yeah, there is that musical number in the middle, which is atrocious. I'll just straight up say that. But
are we talking about the MTV?
The Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah, okay.
It's bad. It's just horrible. But like
Beverly Hillbillies. It does stick in the brain,
does.
though.
The whole soundtrack has been stuck in my head ever since on the last episode of The Take. I was like, next month we're watching the 1988 Weird Al classic UHF. And it was just I feel bad for you that you don't appreciate these gags and these jokes.
Well,
they're
like,
very elementary and they're very basic, and I like that about them. Is because nowadays you have
It's
like
true.
these,
It's like primal, getting hit in the face with a frying pan.
Yeah.
There's
no,
something-
see, little gags like that were good. I'm just talking about overall, like it seemed like parodies that didn't make sense to me, or like they made sense. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. Sean Edwards. So I understood it, but I just thought there was like, why randomly Gandhi 2 out of nowhere, and like the Spatula Warehouse or whatever. Like
Spatula City. That's
City,
my
whatever.
favorite
It's
commercial
a
in the
city,
world.
not a
See,
warehouse.
I love the gags. My problem was there was no emotional core to the movie, and I think there really could have been. Like, it's a cookie cutter plot, but it's a great idea for a movie. Like trying
It is.
to renovate a rundown TV station.
Yeah, and that's why I had high hopes for it, because I was like, there's so many things that they could do with it, and then it was all just parody, and I was just like, oh, like I know it was Weird Al, and I know he's the parody master, but I
So
still
what did you
thought.
expect? That's like going into a Seth Rogen movie and expecting him to be sober.
No. I expected gags and parody, but I expected them also to be wrapped in a really good story and kind of like meaningful and not, like something that made sense and was cohesive all throughout, and then not just sprinkled with random, I'm going to pretend I'm Rambo, I'm going to pretend I'm...
It maybe wasn't the best format for it to have it as a movie. It's just a vehicle for gags, basically. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say when I was preparing. Like, Weird Al, short form, great. Weird Al, long form, as proven by UHF, not a fan. I just don't think, he can't, you have to stay within, if you're him, you have to stay within that 5-minute mark. Because some of those gags by themselves, I would have been like, that's funny. But altogether, I was just like, this is too much, Weird Al, you're too weird.
Or maybe he was so ahead of his time because each one of these little individual gags would work great as a YouTube video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
But now 20 years later, we're now at that where that's a thing, and maybe,
you make
don't see
UHF
the-
today as UHF as a YouTube channel with those little vignettes, fine. I will enjoy it. The ones that suck, I'll move on past, but as a movie, it just doesn't work for me. And yes, you're right. It's probably he's too ahead of his time, but he should have waited.
What do you guys think of Weird Al's performance? What about his acting chops? He hasn't done a movie since this.
I can see why.
Yeah.
The only thing that really annoys me is when his voice gets super high pitched, and he does it a lot.
Ebert was hypercritical of his performance. He just said he slouched, he had no charisma. I actually found that was kind of funny, that like the leading man was just this, like doof, yeah.
You said Ebert?
Yeah, Ebert review, he teared this movie apart.
Isn't he dead now?
Yeah, they're both dead.
So who cares?
R.I.P. Well,
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought his acting was a little over the top, and I was not a fan of it, like you said, and it lost me almost immediately. Like when they got fired from the burger joint, and they were back at Bob's apartment or their apartment together, and he just forgot that he had to go see Terry, his girlfriend, and he was slamming his head. He's like, "Stupid, stupid, stupid," and I was like, "All right, settle down, Weird Al. Try to be real."
how about a pre-Seinfeld Michael Richards? What you think of that?
Yeah, Kramer, I thought he was great. I mean, I liked his lovable doof. It was a little over the top at some points, but I think it was better acted than Weird Al acted.
I do think he was utilized way better than Weird Al. And he definitely had more of an arc.
Yeah, he was just so physical in his performance. He was like a little toy bouncing around on screen.
Well, you gotta be, like, when you go from, basically being a janitor to being the host of a kid's show.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be, whoa!
You can tell the people had fun on the set of this movie. I think the movie has a lot of charm that makes up for its shortcomings in style. There's no style to speak of in this movie. It looks like shit. I watched it on Blu-ray, and it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
The cameraman went on to do, or the director of photography went on to do like Leprechaun 4 and stuff. So that's.
Was that the one with Jennifer Aniston?
I never saw any of
That's
the
the
Leprechaun
one in the.
movies.
That's not the one in the hood,
Gotcha.
or is it?
I never seen any of it. I think that's Leprechaun in Space.
No,
So
no, because there's
That should give you an
Leprechaun and
idea
there's
of
like
the-
Leprechaun 2, and then there is Leprechaun in Space, and then there's like Leprechaun versus somebody,
And then there's like Leprechaun 7, not
and then there's
not
Leprechaun
so
in the
Lucky
Hood,
Charms.
and then there's also Leprechaun in the Hood 2 and 3 that spawned its own little franchise.
anyway, my
And then there
point
was
being,
Boys in the Hood. It's a really weird trilogy or quadrilogy.
my point being, it's like shooting fish in a barrel to criticize this movie. It's not pretentious in any way.
No, it's definitely this is what you're getting. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, for Weird Al, if he's watching, maybe, I don't know, like, love you as a person and as an artist, but I don't know, this one just fell flat for me.
Make
And,
another movie.
yeah, try it.
It's 2016.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll discuss potential hidden racism in the film.
Oh snap!
What?
Someone's racist.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Welcome back to The Take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That
Take.
was sweet.
Oh, All right. Well, what did you guys think of the character of Cooney? Because he's pretty much a racist stereotype of an Asian dude, and that character would not exist in a movie today.
Is he a racist stereotype of an Asian person? I mean, like, I've done karate and had that guy as my teacher before.
Yeah, but isn't he the same guy who was in 16 Candles too?
Playing Long Duck Dong.
Right, me
That's
so
more
horny. Like really, like that. The whole look, he's just a. They've just pigeonholed him into a stereotype, and like, if it was for anybody else except for Weird Al, I would have agreed with you. But it's Weird Al, so it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's important to look at artist intent, and Weird Al has the most kind-spirited sense of humor of anyone.
And also, Cooney is superior to everyone else. He's constantly referring to other people as stupid, and like making them second guess their decisions, and usually for the better.
I read an interview with Getty Watanabe. I'm definitely not pronouncing that right. The actor who
Watanabe?
portrayed Watanabe. He portrayed Cooney, and he was saying he didn't really have a problem with the character. It was just the era, because there was no balance. He says he has no problem making fun of Asian stereotypes. It's just there was no balance back then. That was the only representation of Asians on screen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so.
Makes sense.
And the director, Jay Levy, I also was curious to what his thoughts on this were now that the film's been rediscovered. And he was talking about how, he probably wouldn't have done that today, but he thinks that our culture has become hypersensitive, and I would tend to agree. And he says in comedy, nothing's sacred,
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Nothing's sacred, but some stuff can get you in hot water nowadays.
You should see the cutting room floor of this show to
Yeah.
prove that even more so.
I gotta say though, it was a feat that this movie made me laugh because people hate watching comedies with me. It's very hard to get me to laugh at a movie, and I laughed out loud when he threw the dog in the punch bowl and the thumb cutting scene. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
There were funny gags throughout the whole movie. It was just, I don't know, it's just too long, and it was too filled with like random things. An hour and a half long. No, yeah, exactly. It's an hour and a half long of every now and then it's funny.
Tim and Eric ran into the same problem with the $1 Billion movie. Their show works because it's 15-minute increments, and this humor's not sustainable.
See,
unless you have a good story, which he could have had a good story.
I like this way more than I like $1 Billion movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think we got to talk about the parallel between UHF and this TV station that we work at because, yeah, you know, I think that's what makes the movie so charming. Is, you know, I can definitely relate to trying to create engaging content within a venue where no one's watching.
Like,
and there's something you mean
like
being
this
creative.
engaging content,
like right here, right there.
like right now.
Like trying your best.
Do you like us?
No, yeah, I feel bad that the movie failed because it did. Apparently, the story is it did really well in test screenings, and then the studio was so happy with the response that they put it out in the summer against Batman, Indiana Jones, Lethal Weapon 2, Ghostbusters 2. It didn't stand a chance. It got buried.
See, I didn't even know that this film like failed box office. I found it on demand in 2002, so long after its theatrical run. I liked the Spatula City commercial.
Why?
Because it's great.
You probably like the steel clubbing too in this.
That was pretty funny, not
car
gonna lie.
salesman guy.
But I like at the end, you can tell he's reading a teleprompter, and it's like the simplest line ever. I love the spatula so much I bought the company. Like, that's great. Fran Drescher, when she's interviewing the one redneck guy and talking about guns, and he goes like, "Guns don't kill people, I kill people," and then he looks at the camera and does like this weird.
Yeah, I was listening to the audio commentary track, and Weird Al said that he cast that guy because he could make that face.
Because it's a good face. It's a good face to cast.
This is a good face.
I mean, it's a strong cast all around. Yeah. Like Kevin McCarthy, he was pretty good. He was a good villain.
Oh, I thought Kevin McCarthy was Bob.
I didn't like Bob.
You didn't like Bob? I thought Bob was really.
I was impressed by his grape catching skills.
That was impressive. Yes, I bet. How many takes did they do of that?
I read audio commentary said they did 2 takes.
Oh wow!
Special skill of his.
To catch
grapes. Do you guys have any useless
things
talents?
in his mouth?
I can go cross-eyed on command. That's about it.
Yeah, I can make a.
Why don't you show the camera?
That's all I got. I got like my lazy eye. That's about it.
I can make a clover leaf with my tongue.
Okay. Hey, I can just curl my tongue. Can you guys like crack your ears or anything like that?
You can't.
There's what's in your ears to crack.
Cartilage?
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you guys think of the talent show? Because I heard they actually just did an open casting call for the telethon, and they got all types of weird.
I loved the people that were just in the weird costumes in the background, like the finger people.
I honestly might have stopped paying real close attention at that point because.
You were tuned out.
Yeah.
When did the movie lose you?
I mean, it never lost me, but it just. I thought it just didn't hold my interest throughout. I just couldn't pinpoint where.
Well, Horatio, tell me you were still paying attention for Raoul's Animal Kingdom.
That was
funny.
great.
That was great.
See, like a lot of these bits were landing for you.
Exactly, yeah, the bits by themselves, but there were like a handful of them interspersed throughout a whole movie of bits.
But that's the movie itself. The plot line is just there to get you from bit to bit to bit.
But see, I don't watch movies to get from bit to bit to bit to bit.
So what are you guys going to give this out of 5 whatevers?
Well, I took Milo's advice and I made some homemade plutonium, so I'm going to give it 3.5 pieces of homemade plutonium.
That's bold, 3.5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to sadly give the movie just 2 dogs in a punch bowl because overall I was not entertained. I was only entertained at a few parts. I was going to give it only 1 dog in a punch bowl, but then I thought to myself, it did entertain me at points, so.
Horatio's lowest rating on the show today.
I'm sorry, Weird Al. I still love you. Just didn't love UHF.
God. I'm going to give this 3.5 out of 5. Guys going. That was just so out of left field. That's the type of humor you're not going to see in a blockbuster comedy. This is a great little hidden gem that you can like pull out and impress your friends with. Hey, have you heard of UHF from the 80s?
Nobody would be impressed if I pulled out UHF and said, hey, how about we watch that? You know what they would say? They wouldn't say anything. They would hit me and not be my friend anymore.
That's because you have horrible friends.
No, because my friends have taste.
Well, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're cracking the Mailfern, baby. Woo!
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
We're back. Take it, Matt. We're back. Take it, Matt.
Mailfern! Mailfern! Yeah! Mailfern time, everybody.
Oh, stitch in my side. I'm too old for this.
All right, guys, you ready for your mail?
Yeah.
Mailfern?
Cool.
We got this one for Horatio.
That's a good one. Good job, guys. The
We've
ratio
got
of
this
hair.
one for you, Mr. Gordon.
Not how you spell my last name.
This one's for me. It's a organization of my online handles. And we've got we got some 3 all plays. So we'll take one, you'll take one, and you'll take one.
I just want to say to our viewers, you're starting to misspell white people names.
All right, let's do some Mailferns.
All right. Me first?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Oh, this is easy to open this time. All right, so this question is Master Riddler John Farms. John, thanks for watching. Always blast to hear from you. What flies when it's born, lies when it's alive, and runs when it's dead? This is a riddle. This is not a question. You're disqualified. Matt?
All right.
Yes.
It appears that this week's Mailfern is brought to us by John Farms.
Oh, geez, John Farms.
He
again.
wants to know, what is the most confusing film you have ever watched? I'm gonna say Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie all the way through. Me and my buddy Randy Nelson, watched this video, or the movie, all the way through, and we could come up with 2 conclusions. Gary Oldman was in it, and things happened. That's about it. We could not tell you anyone's name. We couldn't tell you the plot. We had to stop in halfway through the movie and be like, do you know what's happening? And he'd be like, no, and I'd say yes, and no one knew really. So Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy for me.
Yeah, I heard that was a confusing movie, and I prepared myself. I went in with the mindset that I need to pay attention, and it was still, I don't remember a thing about that movie.
I actually saw a movie like 2 weekends ago. My girlfriend and I were watching. It's called The Experimenter with, Skarsgård, Peter Skarsgård, and he plays the famous experimenter from Yale, Stanley Milgram, who did the shock experiments, and that was really weird. It was very strange in the movie sense. There was bad green screen, but like on purpose. And he was walking down a hallway at one point, monologuing to the camera, and there was an elephant walking behind him. We were really confused. I thought the ending of the movie was going to say, this has been an experiment too, and it didn't.
Viewer John at Whatcha Nuggets asks.
Is that John Farms?
Yes.
Indeed.
My
it
God,
is.
John.
He's
a
our
life.
biggest fan.
Just kidding. Keep watching.
Was that or was that not the hardest movie to watch?
Yeah, it was one of the hardest movies, John. Thank you for asking that. But if you'll just reference earlier, yes, it was hard to get through.
No, it's not Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Nah, I mean, UHF, even if the humor isn't working for you, it is a brisk 87 minutes, right? And
It's easy.
97.
It's an easy hour and
counting
a
it down.
half. It moves quick enough. It's not a hard watch at all. Ready for an all play?
yeah.
Yes.
Let's do
Do
it
we
first.
go number 1 first?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. I have 2.
I'm just gonna throw these. Mailfern's #1 fan, John Farms, writes in.
John!
Come on, be honest. Citizen Kane is kind of shit, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. I feel like
No, I'm definitely of the opinion that there are a lot of classics that people will say they like just, to say they're in on it, Like, I did that the first time I watched The Godfather. I didn't get The Godfather, but I said I liked it just to be cool.
Right.
But on a rewatch, I did get the appeal. But.
Sure. Yeah, I disagree with John Farms. I think Citizen Kane was great in when it comes to breakthrough filmmaking and good story, and I don't know. It's just one of the classics that should be
It's
one of the
got
classics.
great camera work for the time period, and it's awesome and all that, but like it loses me after 45 minutes.
Just
And
like
it
we
might-
lost Camera Lady Katie.
Just like how we lost camera lady Katie.
And now she's not panning over to Matt.
Yeah.
Hold on, we had somebody else tweet us that's a female. I think we should.
Oh wait,
acknowledge
someone
her.
tweeted us. This is are we about to
A
have
live tweet.
We have a live Mailfern right now.
Cameraman Brian, if you could follow me over. Camera Lady Katie is going to give us a live reading of a Mailfern.
You're
On the
tied.
air.
You're tied.
You're tied.
I'm good.
Rip.
All right, ready,
Oh,
go.
you're literally just doing this?
Yes.
Okay. Lisa Schneider tweets, favorite bad/poorly rated movie. #Mailfern.
Let's just go back to the normal
Yeah,
cameras.
we Best poorly rated film, huh?
I'm gonna be honest. It's not often that I disagree with the tomato meter.
Same here, actually.
I hate to say it.
I like exclusively watch stuff based on the tomato meter.
I don't look at it anymore because it gives me prejudice before I go into a movie, and I'd rather go in blind. I looked at it before I went to see Tron, and it ruined the movie for me because I was like predisposed to not liking it.
Prejudice is bad.
You know.
Joe Dirt.
I'll play number 2. I have an inkling it's going to be from John Farnes. I don't know why.
Could be right.
I don't know, but let's check. A viewer that isn't John Farnes. I was wrong. John, you've been replaced. Just kidding. If you had to choose one movie to be the narrative of your remaining life, what movie would it be and why?
I mean, what kid didn't want to be Marty McFly growing up?
That's true.
Han Solo, so my family can just keep stabbing me in the back.
Han Solo is not a movie.
Our final Mailfern of the day.
And ripped in half.
The same viewer that isn't John Farms also wants to know, who is your celebrity man crush?
I feel like everyone here is gonna say Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
I would not say Kurt Russell.
What's wrong with you?
No, nothing's wrong, but my celebrity man crush, it changed recently. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It used to be Gerard Butler, but now it's the guy who played Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa. More so because I wish I looked like him. I could look
He
like him.
just likes muscular dark men, and that's just how he is.
Because I want to be a muscular dark man.
Well, who doesn't?
Because I say that genuinely and like mean it. Like we should actually like hang out again and do things.
That's why you don't have a girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, shut up, please. That about takes us to the end of the show. Next month, we're going to be reviewing Nightcrawler, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Gmail, all that stuff.
Gmail? How can you follow someone on Gmail?
Just wait, all right? It's gonna blow your mind.
Whoa.
All right, well, we're going to end off with a new segment called Horatio's Corner, where Horatio gets 1 minute to talk about anything he wants. Matt, let's take off. We'll just leave.
All right. I like this. This is a good.
I don't have anything to talk
All
about.
the cameras on Horatio, please.
So, I'm just gonna stare at each camera.